Greetings. We are going to speak about exam preparation. How do you effectively prepare for an examination? This is because many times people start to panic whenever they are planning for an exam. But there is really no need to panic. There is no need to panic when you are preparing for an examination. One needs to plan for their study time. You have a proper study timetable that will guide you as you study, that you are able to stick to as you study, and focus more maybe on the modules or on the papers that are upcoming, the papers that you are about to write, so that you dedicate more time to those papers and you do your best. In as much as you need to study, there is also need to understand yourself so that you know when are you best able to study effectively. So that you capitalize on those times, you capitalize on those environments when you are studying, so that you put your time and effort to good use. So there is a need to understand yourself. Some people are able to study during the day, some people are able to study only in quiet environments, others are able to study at night, while others are able to study early in the morning. So you need to know yourself and know what works best for you so that you do that in preparation for your exam. You also need to study effectively. There is a difference between just reading and studying. So sometimes people think that they ought to spend more time focusing on their books, but understanding nothing. Yet when you are studying, you really need to study. It's not all about reading, but it's reading to understand. You ought to be in a position to explain what you have read. You ought to be in a position to have understood what you have spent your time reading. So there is need to study effectively. Then in terms of what one should focus on, which is one of the key things when studying for examinations, what is it that we should focus on? I think it should be understood that as you prepare for an exam, you may be given tips by others to say, focus on this, focus on that, focus on this, focus on that, and you think that's what is coming in the exam, thereby neglecting other important aspects of the course. When you are preparing for an examination, you need to focus on the content that was covered in the course, content that was covered in that particular subject or in that particular module. Focus on that content, understand that content, because that's what you will be tested on. So it's one thing to understand part of the content that was covered. It's another thing to understand the content that was covered in the module or in the course. So to really understand and remind yourself of the content that was covered, it is important to always remind yourself of the learning outcomes that are set for that particular module or for that particular course. What are the learning outcomes? Those aspects that they say by the end of this course or by the end of this module, you should be able to. As you prepare for your exam, focus on those aspects. Evaluate yourself on whether you are able to do everything that is expected in the learning outcomes. So I wish you all the best as you prepare for your examinations. I don't want to say there are aspects to focus on or you should focus on certain aspects. What I can say is that you should have understood the learning outcomes of that particular module, of that particular course, so that you will be able to deliver without claiming that you have been disadvantaged in any way. So happy preparation for examinations, happy effective studying, all the best for your exams.